Friends, gather round because we need to talk about Trump, Bitcoin, and a story so wild it makes a honey badger in a dumpster fire look downright boring. In a move that shocked, well, pretty much everyone, Trump signed an executive order. This wasn't about building walls or tweeting insults, though God knows he loves those. This was about creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve. You heard that right. America, the land of eagles and apple pie, now has a Bitcoin piggy bank. Now you might be thinking, John, why is Trump suddenly obsessed with internet money? Well, according to him, it's all about making America financially strong again. He claims this reserve will protect us from the evils of inflation and put the United back in United States dollar. But let's be honest, this smells fishier than a seafood market after a heat wave. This whole thing started when the government realized they were sitting on a mountain of Bitcoin. Think those lost Bitcoins your grandma keeps asking about, but on a scale that would make Scrooge McDuck blush. Apparently, they'd confiscated a whopping 200,000 Bitcoin in various criminal investigations. That's right, folks, the feds are basically the world's most reluctant Bitcoin whales. And they're not stopping there. Trump's plan involves snapping up even more Bitcoin, but here's the kicker. They don't want to spend a dime. Instead, they're relying on a budget-neutral strategy, which basically translates to, we'll figure out a way to get it for free. How? Your guess is as good as mine. Maybe they'll start accepting Bitcoin for tax payments. Or maybe they'll challenge Putin to a game of Bitcoin poker. Now, before we go any further, please take a moment to like and subscribe. We really appreciate your support. Thank you. So what's in this digital treasure chest besides Bitcoin? Well, Trump, in his infinite wisdom, decided to create a separate stash called the Digital Asset Stockpile. Think of it as the island of misfit crypto, where all the other digital currencies hang out. We're talking Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Cardano, basically the crypto equivalent of throwing darts at a board and investing in whatever they hit. Now, as you can imagine, this whole scheme has ruffled more than a few feathers. Crypto enthusiasts, who are usually too busy checking their portfolios to care about politics, are up in arms. They argue that the government shouldn't be playing favorites by hoarding Bitcoin and cherry-picking altcoins. Imagine the uproar if the government announced they were creating a strategic oil reserve, but only bought ExxonMobil stock. Some critics, like those savvy folks at Capriole Fund, are calling this whole thing a pig in lipstick. Others, like the brilliant minds at Blockworks, are concerned that this sets a dangerous precedent. After all, when has the government ever been good at picking winners and losers in the market? Remember the time they bet on Betamax? Yeah, me neither. But wait, there's more. It turns out nobody's quite sure what the point of this Bitcoin reserve is. Trump's people claim it won't cost taxpayers anything, which is about as reassuring as a dentist saying this won't hurt a bit. And when asked what they plan to do with all this Bitcoin, the answer is less than satisfying. We're not selling it. So basically, it's like that collection of commemorative plates your grandma keeps in a glass cabinet. Nice to look at, but completely useless. Now you might be thinking, John, surely there are rules against the government just hoarding Bitcoin like a dragon with its gold. And you'd be right to ask. The legality of this whole thing is about as clear as a mud puddle after a rainstorm. Did Congress approve this? Who knows? Are there legal challenges on the horizon? Probably. It's a complete mess. And if the legal questions weren't enough, the market reaction to Trump's grand Bitcoin plan has been less than enthusiastic. As soon as word got out that the government wasn't planning on buying Bitcoin with their own money, the price took a nosedive. It's almost like the market realized that having the government as your Bitcoin buddy isn't all it's cracked up to be. But here's the real kicker. Trump's Bitcoin obsession is a complete 180 from his predecessor's stance. Remember Biden and his administration's crusade against crypto? They were cracking down on digital assets like they were going out of style, citing concerns about fraud and money laundering. Now, Trump's out here embracing Bitcoin like it's the financial savior of the free world. The only consistent thing about all of this is the inconsistency. It's enough to make your head spin faster than a Bitcoin miner on Red Bull. So, what does the future hold for America's Bitcoin gamble? Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. Will this Bitcoin reserve be a stroke of genius or a colossal blunder? Will the government actually figure out how to acquire Bitcoin without spending taxpayer money? Will they ever reveal the true purpose of this digital treasure trove? One thing's for sure, this is just the beginning of the saga. Buckle up, folks, because it's going to be a wild ride. And who knows, maybe one day, we'll all be paying our taxes in Bitcoin. But let's be real, I'm more likely to win the lottery twice, while simultaneously being struck by lightning and eaten by a shark.